All righty, it's live now. You can begin.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
All righty, it's live now. You can begin.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Is everyone here?
Daniel's here.
Too many of us are here. Oh, well. Bear with me, please. On behalf of Mayor Rogers, who is absent tonight, I'd like to call the Village of Dolton regular board meeting to order. Please excuse the noise. I hope it will stop, or I will mute shortly. We are convened at 6:39 p.m. And I will call the roll. Trustee Denton. Trustee Steve.
Present.
Trustee House. Trustee Brown, I'm told, is going to be absent this evening. Trustee Holmes. Trustee Holmes, are you there? Trustee Holmes absent. Trustee Henyard.
Present.
Thank you. I'm present. Village Attorney, are you present? If you can hear me over all that. Okay, Village Engineer, please chime in.
I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Village Administrator is present. Department heads, Police Department. I'm a little distracted, forgive me. Chief Mobley, I see you are present. Deputy Chief Rush, I see you are present. Mr. Stacy I see is present. Mr. Mirabali, of course, is always present. And Ms. Harris, are you there? Sorry, I'm just scrolling down the list.
Present.
Thank you. All righty then. Thank you for your forbearance. In the absence of Mayor Rogers this evening, I would ask for a motion to appoint the Mayor Pro Tem. And then I'm going on mute. Is there a motion to appoint a Mayor Pro Tem this evening?
I motion to appoint Trustee Jason House.
Okay, motion by Trustee Henyard, second.
I'll second.
And that was,
Trustee House.
well, already then. Okay, motion to appoint Trustee House is Mayor Pro Tem. Okay, there being no discussion. Trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Brown is absent. Trustee Holmes, are you there? Absent. Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
All right.
And Attorney Murphy, oh, he's on.
Attorney Murphy is on. Thank you. Good to hear.
Did you do
Okay, Trustee House?
Okay. Clerk Dugan, just as a point of clarity, maybe for myself, I know is 4 members enough for us to quorum? That is a quorum, am I right? 4 is the minimum.
Yes, that is a quorum.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, quorum established. If we can, please start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
For which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty
for
and
all.
justice for all.
Briefly, I'll lead us in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We ask that you oversee our village. We ask that you bless Mayor Rogers with a speedy recovery. We ask that you bless the family of Trustee Tammy Brown, who's also suffered some loss, and bless all those in need and within your reach. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
First thing up on the agenda is general announcements. Anybody have any general announcements for the community?
Yes, I have several.
All
I just
right.
got one. I got one today. Good evening, everyone. I just want to say, please, whatever you do, continue to wear your mask. COVID is still here. I make the same announcement every board meeting because I need you guys to listen. I don't want to see anyone sick or suffer from COVID. That is a serious thing that's going around. Please wear your mask, practice social distancing, and wash your hands. I know they say use sanitizer, yeah, when you need to, but wash your hands. The soap and water works like a charm. And lastly, I want to thank all the residents for coming out during this last primary election. We look forward to seeing you again April 6th for the general election. So please come out and vote. Your voice is, your vote is your voice. Continue to practice that and show up at the polls April 6th, guys. So thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. That's all. Tiffany, Trustee Henyard, call me if you need me for anything, 708-963-2137. Again, 708-963-2137. If anyone's looking for me, you can stop at my office at 800 East Sibley here in Dolton. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Any other announcements? Okay, I did have one announcement, and I want to make a quick check
Oh, that was still calling me.
with
Somebody was calling
our
today when I was
communications
in
manager.
the
Hey,
call.
Giovanni.
Hold on.
Okay, well, I'll briefly go to the announcement. I think she'll chime back in a moment because I did have a couple of emails. So I wanted to make sure that our chat functionality is working. I did receive an email from a resident asking that I ensure that we have that function available. I think at our prior board meeting, Ms. Nixon indicated that she had been doing tests as the system comes up. There was a delay from the going live to chat function being available, and also made her contact information available for anybody having those difficulties. So I would encourage anybody that is still having that challenge to reach out to Ms. Nixon. If there is some difficulty in reaching her, also contact myself as well. And maybe that way I could work to facilitate that communication or maybe bridge that gap. But I think I just wanted to check with Ms. Nixon. Have you had an opportunity to test that and make sure that the chat function is working?
Yeah, it's working. We already have residents that are making, comments, just saying good evening and just coming into the chat room already.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So I think that's going to conclude my comment in the general announcements. Move right along to, we have citizens address, which is limited to the agenda items at this time. So Ms. Nixon, is there any comments for during this portion of citizens address?
No, we don't have any comments at this time.
Thank you very much. Moving in next is our village clerk's report. Clerk Dugan. Clerk Dugan, you're on mute.
And you should be grateful that I was. But at this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of February 1, 2021.
Motion to approve the minutes from February 1st and February 16th, 2021.
I second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Clerk Dugan, please call the roll.
Yes, thank you. Trustee Denton,
Aye.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee House,
Aye.
Trustee Brown is absent. Trustee Holmes, are you there? Absent. Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Thank you. 4-0.
4 ayes, that completes. Clerk Dugan, any communications?
No, none this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is engineer's report. Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Madam Clerk, Mayor Pro Tem, trustees, and residents from the Village of Dolton. It was just one item on my report, and that is in reference to the agenda item. That's the 2021 Cdbg Capital Improvement Grant Application. This is something that is available once a year from the county. We typically go after the maximum amount of $400,000 for infrastructure improvements. And as part of that grant application, we have to pass a resolution. And also it has to be executed by the clerk and also the mayor. And also a current audit has to accompany that, and also a engineer's cost estimate. The Public Works Department is looking at the pavement conditions index map that was done by CMAP. And they're going to review that and provide the sections of roadways that will be included in the grant application. That concludes my report this evening.
Thank you for that, Mr. Smith. Any comments, questions from the board?
Question. This is Trustee Steve. Is there any other grants, Ron Smith, that you're working on right now?
Yes, we submitted a Rebuild Illinois grant for $1.7 million to improve the elevated water tower on Ingle and Greenwood Road. There is a water main that a new water main that we'll have put in as part of the CREATE project. That's the realignment for the railroad right there behind Old Village Hall. There is a slew of projects. I can provide the board with a list of everything that myself, the village administrator, and the public works director are working on currently. Some have been approved and some are pending. But I can provide that to the board so you can have an idea of everything that all of the dollar amounts that we have been going after. Also, I think South Suburban Mayors and Managers had contacted the village administrator on a submittal we did previously for capital improvements, which included alleys, roadways, the water mains. I think also we're working on a project where it'll be 100% funded to replace all of the streetlights in the village. And again, I can provide you a list of all of that, but we're definitely going after any and every dollar that's out there available for capital improvements for the village.
Yes, sir. And I guess there's none of, I know none of it's guaranteed, but do we have a high probable or high chance of getting any of that?
It's all competitive. You know, we definitely do our best to present the best application. You know, the village has good relationships with the agencies that are providing these grants. So, you know, all we do is try to, again, put the best grant application together and follow up with those agencies for funding.
Okay. I think you're right. Send us a list of that. So me personally, I would like to try to do a better job on my part to keep up with all the grants and everything that's going on, that's being applied for.
Absolutely.
So, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and that concluded your report, Mr. Smith?
That concludes my report, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much. Next up is our committee reports. First up is Finance Committee. Month of February, we did not have a Finance Committee meeting. That meeting generally would have fallen simultaneously or the day after the election. So with a lot of things kind of up in the air, I did not host the regular Finance Committee meeting. We will pick that up the final Wednesday of this month. So the date will be, let me find that date. March 31st, the last Wednesday of this month at 5:30 p.m. So that will be the upcoming Finance Committee meeting, and that will conclude my report. Next will be the housing report. Trustee Brown is unavailable. Is there anybody that had Trustee Brown's report in her absence?
Mayor Pro Tem, might be recognized.
Absolutely, please, Ms. Sharon.
I submitted the report, but I was unaware that she would not be here, so I can just give you a few of the items on the report that's listed. We received 19 as it, okay, excuse me, Mary Kay, it's my turn now. Hold on one second.
Not me.
Right, hold on one second.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
My apologies. We received 19 as-is inspections for the month of February. We also received 29 escrow deposits, as well as collected monies on 63 housing tickets. And then another partial of the report is that we also processed 59 transfer stamps for the month of February. And that's the end of the report.
And how did you do that?
How did I do what?
Be quiet.
Oh, it's called, I have two other people that called him upstairs. And so that way he can be behind closed doors. Okay, so that's the end of the housing report.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, the next report up would be for the police and fire. I know Trustee Holmes is not on at the moment. Is there anybody that has a report in lieu of Trustee Holmes' appearance?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem. I have the report for the police department. I did speak with Trustee Holmes, and he told me he would not be available. For the stats for the month of February for the police department, traffic on the first watch 14, second watch 8, third watch 22, parking violations for the first watch 21, second watch 18, third watch 18, criminal arrest 19 for the first watch, 1 for the second watch, 19 for the third watch. Total number for traffic 44, parking violations 57, criminal arrest 39. From the investigation division, these are some of the charges that we got on some of our violent offenders. On January 15, 21, a case where an offender was charged with arson. February 12, 21, another case that we had, we got the suspect and he was charged with first-degree murder. February 21st, 21, another case was charged with first-degree murder. And February 23rd, 21, we had a first-degree murder, aggravated domestic battery, and armed habitual criminal. That concludes my report for the police department.
Thank you very much.
Mayor Pro Temp, Deputy Chief Rush.
Yes, sir. Please chime right on in.
Okay. All right. For the fire department, from January 1st to present date, 2/28/21, we had a total of fire, 41, overpressure and explosions. We had 2. Emergency medical services, it was 537. Hazardous conditions was 32. Service calls, 20. Good intent calls was 31. And false alarms was 49 for a grand total of 712 year to date. That concludes my report, sir.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board on these reports? Okay, hearing no questions, we're going to move on to Trustee Steve with the Public Works and Melanie Fitness Center committees.
Good evening, everyone. This is my report for Public Works and Melanie Fitness. Always you have to, or we have to.
Okay, I think Chief Mobley indicated that you were not going to be, I'm sorry, forgive me, everyone.
Okay, we back. We got to give a big shout out to the public works workers. We had a lot of snow over these last few weeks, and they've been out here working overtime, double shifts. They've been out here doing their best, working hard to get our streets clean and clear. On top of that, water main breaks been happening more at this time when the ground is heating back up. So this is like a prime time for water main breaks to happen. So they've been out here working really, really hard. And again, if you see a public works worker, you know, even if you have, you know, maybe dissatisfied or something, just give them a shout out, say, we support you. We appreciate the hard work you do while you're out there. Could you pick this up? No, don't do that. But, you know, just give them some encouragement because sometimes they need it. Again, the number to call if you got a problem with public works is 708-201-3240. Home with Disposal will resume yard waste and branch pickup April 1st. So make sure you get your yard waste in a brown bag, not plastic. And branches must be cut down to 3 to 4 inch sections. So again, a reminder that April 1st, Home with Disposal will resume picking up yard waste in the brown packs that you can get from Nards or different stores. So that's the update. For Public Works. And I haven't been able to hold a committee meeting. The members of my committee, you know, of course, one was running for election, the other one is dealing with a death in the family. So I'm gonna have another meetings very soon. I really want to get into the grants and everything to kind of explain the stuff that the engineering firm they are applying for, and stuff that we can take advantage of. So we just need the public can know, the residents can know exactly what is being planned for to try to improve the infrastructure, the streets, different things around the town. And that is it for my Public Works Committee report. Update on the Melanie Fitness Center. We are still in the process of listening. Elizabeth Scott, are you there?
Yes.
If you can give us a quick update of what's going on with the listing with Melanie Fitness.
Okay, so the latest is we had a meeting about maybe a month ago with the realtors, and we're in the process of getting a survey done and also the appraisal. And after that, we're going to go from there and put it on the market. And we're also going to put it up on our village webpage that we have for the economic development site.
Yeah, and then also the Detox Cafe is still open. So if you want a healthy option, go in there and get a healthy drink. Sometimes she does detoxes. If you need to get a healthy drink, healthy smoothie, she is still open. So that is it for my committee reports, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much. Any questions on Trustee Steve's report? Hearing none, we're going to move on into our corporate bills. I will read our corporate bills into the record. Corporate bill payment register 183 has corporate payments of $1,070,251.77. Gross payroll for February 12th, $340,297.02. Gross payroll February 26th, $357,041.40. Melanie Fitness Center register number 183 has payments of $5,004.35 with gross payroll for February 12th, $855.11. Gross payroll February 26th, $855.11. Total corporate payments of $1,774,304.76 on payment register 183. Next being our electronic payments register 182 with payments of $34,255.47. A water fund electronic payment of $254,075.69. And manual checks $11,200 even. Total corporate payments on register 182 is $299,531.16. Motion that we pay payment registers 182 and 183 collectively.
Second.
Okay. So I hear it motion and seconded. Any discussion?
Was that Trustee Henyard who seconded?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hearing no discussion. Clerk Dugan, please call the roll.
On the motion to approve the corporate bills is read, Trustee Denton,
Aye.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee House,
Aye.
Trustee Brown, absent. Trustee Holmes, absent. Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay. 4 ayes, motion carries. And under old business, we have the first 4 items have been discussed in our previous board meeting. So I would like to see if the board will be open to bundling items A, B, C, and D for a vote. I'll give a brief description if the board is okay with that. With the bundling of these items, I'll give a description before the vote. Is that okay with any board members?
I have no objections, but I have a question. We had something on the agenda for the last board meeting that is not on this agenda to be voted on. It was for the personnel retirement insurance status. Were we not supposed to vote on that at this meeting?
Good question. Attorney Murphy, are you available on that?
Yeah. We're talking about the individual employment matter.
Yes.
Yeah. We had discussions about that, and we were not, I'm not satisfied with the document. Maybe Elizabeth can update the board.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So on the 26th, last Friday, we had a meeting with the union in regards to this personnel issue. And we are waiting for some paperwork, primarily a sign off from the union, saying that this is basically a one-time offer. And we're waiting to hear from them to see if that's going to happen or take place. So without going, I think, too deep, right, Attorney Murphy, not to discuss specifics, but we are waiting for a sign off from the union.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, briefly before my motion, item A is ordinance number 21-001, calling for a public hearing to consider designation of redevelopment project area, which is the West Sibley Tax Increment Finance District TIF at 300 West Sibley. Item B is the purchase of police radios, which was discussed at our previous COW meeting on, I want to say that was the last meeting in February. Item C similarly was discussed at our COW meeting, the purchase of fire department protective gear. And item D is the roof repair, also discussed at our previous COW meeting. So if the board is okay, I'll motion that we approve these 4 items collectively.
Second.
Okay, it was motion and seconded with each one of these items. Any questions from any board member? And hearing no discussion, Clerk Dugan, please roll call.
Yes, bear with me, I'm out. Okay, thank you. On the motion to approve items A through D of old business, motion by trustee House, second by trustee Henyard, trustee Denton.
Aye.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown is absent, trustee Holmes is absent, trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Motion
4
carries.
ayes, that motion carries. The next item on the agenda is item E, forensic audit and internal control proposals. That item also was discussed at our last board meeting. So we were getting proposals. To my knowledge, well, I'm going to motion that we put this in for discussion first. So I motion that we discuss item E with the forensic audit and internal controls. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's motion and seconded, and for discussion, Administrator Scott, did you have a comment? I think we were gonna seek some additional proposals as well, but can you give us a status, please?
So we do have representatives from Baker Tilly, primarily, I believe it's Mr. Joe Lightcap, and also Mr. Tim Von Sina. They're both partners with Baker Tilly, and they submitted a proposal a few days ago. However, they also wanted to get on and kind of just expand on some of what was discussed at the last board meeting, some concerns about it being a subsidiary of Civic Systems and whatnot. So Mr. Von Sina, Mr. Lightcap, whoever would like to start first.
Yeah, Joe, why don't you go ahead and take the independence question and let's start with that.
Yep, sounds good, definitely. So Civic Systems is a subsidiary of Baker Tilly, and they provide general ledger systems for many of our audit clients. So not just a forensic audit or internal control study, also an independent audit. And based on the management's control of everything and the separations within the system, and it being a GL system and not necessarily running, Civic is not in charge of internal controls or management responsibilities. So we are independent when it comes to a client having Civic Systems as their general ledger package. And we did submit a proposal for the internal control study. And mainly what we're proposing is that we would come in and with interviews and review of documentation, we would document the processes, controls, and suggestions for improvements around utility billing. We would discuss with personnel and perform limited sampling to see what we were told was being done. We figured this would give the village an outside perspective on areas where internal controls can be strengthened and potentially provide for areas for the village to dig deeper.
And with that being said, one of the things we'd like to convey is there's a lot of overlap between the internal controls audit and what's being titled as the forensic audit that also went out to bid. The issues that came up in our reviewing of the RFP for the forensic side, there's a lot of wide berths there for the type of investigation that you're looking to have done. I watched previous versions of this forum on YouTube, and from what I'm hearing, and I'm paraphrasing here, is we want every avenue checked, every process documented, and that going back for a period of 3 years. We struggled with that as one of the companies trying to present a response in that what you're asking would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what we're concerned with is the overall value to the village. Is it really necessary? Or is there an opportunity to perhaps refine exactly what the village is looking for and let firms such as ours be able to respond in a more understanding path that gets the village exactly what it's looking for a reasonable cost? I'm afraid now, is having this RFP being so wide and generic in nature, you're looking to have every process, every record, every department analyzed, and I just don't know if that's necessary or the best use of the village's time, quite frankly. So I'd like to throw that back to the group and get some further comments on that if I could.
Well, how you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you.
Good, thanks. Well, one of my main concerns is the water department. So if you can give me a quote for the water department, because where all our finances go, all our money. So if you could just give a bid for that. I know they did say several different areas, but that is my main concern as a trustee. So if you can quote us that, that'd be great.
Specifically, what are we looking for here? You're just looking to outline the procedures, of which I think, as Joe mentioned before, might be encapsulated within the internal control audit. We're going to find out the reporting structures and where things go, where there are vulnerabilities within the system, and make you guys aware of that, of course. But is there anything specific beyond just the framework? And does that framework allow the unintentional or maybe intentional misappropriation of assets or shifting around of monies, for example? It could be any number of things, but is there anything known, or are you just looking for reassurance on the internal controls in place, which would be met by the other RFP, quite honestly? So I'm just trying to understand specifically within the water department, what concerns you might have specifically that need a more in-depth review.
Sure. So my main concern is where, say for instance, a resident come in and they give us their money and it's $100. Some of the time it don't get applied to that particular account. It might go to another account, or it might go in thin air, just throwing something out there, right? So my job is to make sure that the money is being accounted for. So when you come in and you give me a report detailing, Tiffany, you need to fix this or do this different, or I see how people are stealing out of your department. I just want someone to come and give me an overview of what we should be doing and then what process works. Because right now what we have isn't working, and we're getting too many complaints as it relates to, I paid my bill, but it's not being attached to that account. Or Tiffany, why is it that I can only pay with check, money order, credit card, and not cash? So I want to try to get that in order like now.
Okay. Is there any concern outside of the water department, or is that all just, it would be nice to have, but not really necessary at this time?
Well, for me, it's the water department. Any other trustee, if they got another concern, they can chime in, please, guys. But me,
I would say the water department is the biggest concern.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say anything that has to do with money. So that would include permits and licensing. That would also include housing. That also encapsulates the police department, anything where that involves money. But like the trustee said, Trustee Henyard, it does go back to the water department. All of those things are paid into the water department. Also, when people pay their portion for retirement, for their insurance, former employees, the checks actually do come through to the water department. When people have to pay for a tow or tow release or any type of pet fee, that all goes to the water department. Permit fees, any type of fees or tickets through our code enforcement, that goes through the water department. So like Trustee was saying, we would like the investigation to encapsulate the water department. But just so you know, all those things do run through the water department for us.
Okay. That's helpful then. Okay. Joe, any questions on that you might have?
No, I mean, that what we proposed was looking at the internal controls, and it would look at the internal controls around the collection of payments and how they're applied and things like that, and segregation of duties. So are there enough people in the process, or checking the work being done and things like that. We would do if there's a control in place, we would do some limited sampling to make sure that, you know, if we're told something's happening, we go and we look at to see if it's happening. So it's kind of that surface look and recommendations of things that the village could do differently to help improve the process. Anything digging deeper into, into transactions, into years and years of transactions, that's not what we quoted, as we saw this as more of a starting point. I know you obviously you have some concerns, but looking at the internal controls and how things are applied, this could help you either further tailor what you're looking for and what your concerns are, and where to really dig in deeper. And this is kind of a cost-effective start to that process to see, if our review would come up with something we feel should be investigated further.
Yeah, it's one of the instances, where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. So if there's gaping holes in the personnel, or you've got personnel doing 2 and 3 functions that are supposed to be separated, that obviously requires a deeper look sometimes. So, I think that gives us what we need. We'd be certainly happy to go and put some more thought and submit a bid on this. I just wanted to make sure we knew exactly what was going. And I think in that response, we'd be careful to list out exactly what our expectations are, so we have a clear understanding there. And then you folks can make up your minds as to, which firm you want to go with. We appreciate there's more than one bid in this. So this was helpful going through the process here. So I think I've got what I need.
Okay, when would you guys have your proposal together?
I would say by the end of this week.
Okay.
Just take me a couple days. So put it together. Joe and I can discuss this tomorrow or Wednesday. Monday, yes. Tomorrow or Wednesday, and be able to get you something by the end of the week, if that's all right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks all. Have a nice evening.
All right, now I'll call you both tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I believe that concludes. Any other comments from the board on that agenda item? Hearing no further comment. Item number F was one that was discussed before, the BP Capital lawsuit proposed settlement. I believe there were mixed feelings amongst the board about maybe the structure of the settlement. So this is one I would like to have go into executive session with this being an item of litigation. If there's any questions or any thoughts from the board differently, please advise me at this time.
I agree.
Okay with that, Trustee House.
I agree.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Trustee Mayor Pro Tem, question.
Yes.
For E, for the forensic audit, I just want to make sure we got clarity of that we're going to discuss that at the next time. So once they get a proposal, this will go on the CAL meeting for discussion.
Okay, Trustee, I'll make sure that goes on the CAL.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for that clarity. Okay, and item F, we were going to take to executive session. So moving on to new business, item A, resolution number 21R-002, authorization for the Village of Dolton to participate in the 2021 program year Cook County Community Development Block Program. Motion that we approve resolution 21R-002.
Second.
Okay, it being motioned and seconded, is there anyone that can give an overview description for the residents of this item?
Sure, I can do that, Mayor Pro Tem. What's under new business is the 2021 Cdbg grant application. That application is for the village to apply for grant funding, and it comes out yearly by the county for infrastructure improvements. We have been successful in previous years being awarded funding for roadway improvements throughout the village. So the maximum amount you can apply for is $400,000 for infrastructure improvements, and we have on the agenda to apply that grant application for the maximum amount of $400,000 to fix some of the roadways throughout the village. So that's basically what the gist of the grant application is, and it's due on March 12th, online at 5 p.m. And again, as part of the grant application, a resolution must accompany the grant application along with a current audit and the engineer's estimate of construction costs.
Question.
Yes.
Now, if we get approved for these funds, when will we get these funds? This year or next year?
It's a year behind.
Year behind. So this is for 2022.
That is correct. So the grant application goes in, they'll review the grant application, they'll make an announcement of awards in July. November, you'll receive a notice of award. January 1st of 2022, you'll receive your notice to incur grant costs, and then you can you'll be able to get the funding and draw that down and do your improvements on that. So it's typically a year behind. So
one more question. When do you pick the streets that will get done next year from this?
right now the Public Works Department, they have a map. CMAP, we had got a grant for $30,000 that the village administrator had applied for through CMAP. They put together a pavement conditions index. So they rated all of the streets in the village. They rated them like a stoplight, yellow, red, green, red being the worst. So Public Works right now is looking at that list and they're going off of the worst ones that are on the list. So that's how they're getting chosen.
Okay. And I know we have access to that list. I would like to really see that list. And
okay, yes, when I'll make sure the list is provided once Public Works, provides me the list of roadways.
And then even for the sake of transparency moving forward, we can really publicize that list and put it out there, and we can take the pictures and put it out there so residents can see the streets that were picked and why they were picked.
Absolutely.
For the sake of just so people would know.
Yes, sounds good. I will make sure that happens. Any other questions?
Hearing no other questions from the board, Clerk Dugan, can you please do a roll call?
Yes, on the motion to approve ordinance 21-002, Trustee Den.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Brown absent. Trustee Holmes absent. Trustee Henry.
Aye.
Okay, 4 ayes, that motion carries. Next item is item number B, approval of Equita Hardware refresh proposal for Dolton Police Department. Chief Mobley, can you? I'm guessing it's the police department. Chief Mobley, can you give us a description of what this item is, or have we discussed this before?
Our IT person, Derek, he was supposed to be on. I don't know if he's on. Clerk Dugan, is Derek Blocker on?
I'm looking. I do not yet see him. Mr. Blocker, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So as far as the recorder, it's the recorder for the police department to record all the calls in the station, and the annual maintenance is coming up. They are recommending new equipment. The equipment is 5 years old. It's on an old operating system, and in order to keep up with the maintenance, they suggest that we go get new equipment. So they incorporating the price of the new equipment into the new agreement, which is slightly higher than the previous maintenance. And the new agreement is for 5 years.
Okay. Any questions? So for the equipment, is there a time deadline that we have to meet in terms of getting this? And I may have missed, how much is that going to cost?
The renewal for the maintenance is due the end of April. Currently, it's just over a little over $4,000 or something like that. And the new agreement with the new equipment is just over $5,000. I don't have the exact amount, but the chief has the quotes with the exact price.
Okay. And the only reason I ask is if it's 5,000, that makes sense. I think that's something that can be authorized amongst the administrator as well. Do they so are we looking for an approval, or is this just kind of notification that this is something that's coming up on the warrant list?
I think it may need approval for the increase, because you could opt out of the new equipment and just continue with the regular maintenance, but then you're dealing with old equipment and you take the risk of it failing. So I guess the decision that needs to be made is, do you continue on with the regular maintenance where it is, or do you go to the new agreement and get the new equipment? But the agreement is due, I think, towards the end of April.
Yes, and we put it on the agenda because it was like $1,000 increase from what we normally pay. So we wanted to get the consensus of the board that when you see this increase, that this is where it came from, because we are going with a newer software update.
Okay. For me, if it remains under 5,000, I'll be fine with it. But any other board members have a comment?
Trustees, I do want to clarify, based on looking at the invoice, the exact dollar amount of the maintenance agreement is going to be $5,953 even.
Okay, thank you for that clarity, Chris. I appreciate it. Any board members have any comments?
Yes, is this something that can wait until the next meeting?
Yes, I think so, Trustee.
Yeah, I'm not sure when the next meeting is. I'm not sure when the next meeting is, but the agreement, the regular maintenance agreement is due at the end of April. So you have until then to make the decision, either to continue with the existing agreement or go to the new one and get the new equipment.
Okay, go, Mobley, how you feel? Chief Mobley?
Like I said, we put it just to make sure that we get a board approval, because it was like 4,900, now it's going to 5,900. As long as we get it taken care of before the deadline, I think we will be fine. So if we wait till the next board meeting, that's 2 weeks from now, we should be fine.
Except trustees, I would remind you that committee of the whole, not a voting meeting. So the next voting meeting would be the first Monday in April.
Yeah, but if need be, if we did want to wait, we can always host a special board meeting before the cow. So I guess I want the trustees to chime in, how you guys feel. Trustee Steve, Trustee House, Trustee Denton, how do you feel?
I feel that it's something that has to be done, and I commend Chief Mobley for being proactive and not springing it on us at the last minute. So now we are aware and we can make an intelligent decision. And I think it has to be done.
I agree with Trustee Denton.
Me as well.
Okay, let's move forward.
Thank you, trustees.
I don't know if we did a motion in a second, so I'll just officially do a motion on the approval of the equipment hardware refresh proposal for Dolton Police Department at the dollar amount of $5,900 stated by our finance consultant.
Is that a motion, Trustee House?
Yeah, that's my motion.
Second.
A second. Oh.
Go ahead, Dean.
A second.
Motion by Trustee House, second by Trustee Denton. Any further discussion?
No further.
Trustee Denton?
Aye.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Brown absent, Trustee Holmes absent, Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
4 ayes, that motion carries. Next thing up would be the mayor's report. I don't know, did the mayor leave a report with anybody on the board to be written to the record?
I do not have one.
Okay. Hearing
And
no
I do not
report.
have anything.
I got, no, I don't.
Hearing no report, we will have a citizen's address, but I would like to go through we will have an executive session. I would like to go through citizens address prior to it. There may be action after. So for those who want to chime back in, but I want to make sure that we do not belabor the citizens address for what is an undetermined amount of time during executive session. So if we can, Giovanni, please, if you can read the citizens address, questions and comments.
All right, we do have about maybe 20 or 25 comments that are restating congratulations to Trustee Henyard, Trustee House, Trustee Key, Trustee Belcher. So there's just multiple comments.
And don't forget Trustee Norwood.
Oh, I'm scrolling. I haven't got to her name yet. I'm looking at all the duplicates to see if she was. Clerk Key is also mentioned on a comment and congratulations. And then Trustee Norwood is listed here as well. So that's several, at least about 25 of the comments. The next question says, there's a question that's referencing somebody's screen name, industry play, and is asking, is this person blocked and why? I've never blocked anyone. This question came up last meeting, but I've never blocked anyone. And based on what I see on the YouTube, it doesn't show any list or any name of anyone that's blocked. We have about 70 people that are in the chat now. So, I mean, I've never blocked anyone, and there's no list of any individual that's being blocked. More congratulations. Another question, it says, where is the fire chief? Does he ever attend meetings?
The fire chief has attended some meetings. Deputy Chief Rush.
Yes, I don't mind chiming in, Mayor Pro Tem. I spoke with him today. He had a death in the family, so he's trying to take care of it right now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Next question says, when are we going to get our money from Melanie Fitness?
I can answer that. We sent out our refunds. If you did not get your refund and you paid a monthly membership, we look through all the records and we send out everything. If you feel that you have the proof, we can compare it to our records and we can get you the refund. We sent it out. That was months ago. You can always email me at esteve@bodolton.org. That's ESTEAVE, or you can call me at 708-793-0034 if you did pay and did not get your refund. But we did send the refunds out months ago.
Thank you, sir.
The next comment, they want to thank Trustee House for taking care of the seniors at Our Saviors building, and they're grateful you came out for the snow removal.
Oh, well, that credit goes to Superintendent Stacy and his team.
Okay. Next question is, who is Ronnie Burge, and does he even live here?
Well, Ronnie Bird, I believe that's more of a political question based on the election coming up on April 6th. So I would just encourage all residents, please do your research on the election coming up, and please get out and vote.
Okay. Next comment is just hoping the clerk's office to be more transparent, stating there was some alleged refusals to fulfill constitutional duties. Next comment, Baker Tilly. No, this is regarding Baker Tilly. No matter what these guys say, there is a conflict of interest. Next question, what are the election results? Who won the mayor's primary race? Who won the clerk seat? Who won the 3 trustee seats?
The election results have not been certified. But the unofficial or uncertified results have Tiffany Hinyard as the winner of the mayor seat, Allison Key is the winner of the clerk seat, Jason House, Kiana Beltran, Brittany Norwood as the winners of the trustee seat. The election results will not be certified until March 9th is my understanding. So at that point in time, I guess the official winners can be declared, but the information can be found on the Cook County Clerk Karen Yarborough's website.
Okay. It says an audit of the payment center would be a good start. Can we look into auditing the payment center?
Yes, I believe that's part of what has been discussed, and as the RFP is elaborated or decided, that will be included.
All right. Another comment is just they're hoping that the village will decrease theft and fraud. The next is, what happened to the money that was to pay water bills that resulted in the $8 million settlement?
That money, previous administrations had all of the money going into the general fund, and those funds were going to different village bills. But my understanding is it was not being paid properly to the city of Chicago, which resulted in the settlement, which was reached 2 to 3 years ago to the city of Chicago.
Okay, the next comment asks if Trustee Hinyard is the new mayor, and they stated she's inarticulate. So, the next one is credit cards should be looked at as well regarding the audit. The next question is, who handles the water department billing issues or billing disputes?
At the moment, we do not have a manager in the water department. I believe Ms. Johnson has been very helpful in resolving some residents' questions. But I would ask maybe Administrator Scott or Ms. Johnson, is there a point person that a resident would go to if they had an issue with the water bill?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thanks, Administrator Scott.
Okay, Janice has been the point of contact. I also take individuals when they call and come in. Also, some of the electeds will funnel complaints to me as it relates to the water department. So myself or Janice Johnson until we're able to get that department properly staffed.
Okay, and thank you, ladies. They have been very responsive to residents' concerns. So I want to say thanks for stepping up in that absence.
No problem.
Next question, will there be a focus on developing a finance department since these duties have been outsourced for a number of years at a crippling cost to the taxpayers?
That had been a recommendation for at least a year from the Finance Committee that we hire somebody in staff and to reduce our bills. I think as the new administration comes in, those questions will be better answered.
Okay, next question is the water department, also known as the payment center. If there were checks and balances in place, who checked what?
That's the purpose of having the forensic audit, is to see if there was checks and balances, and if not, and especially with the internal control study, to make sure that there are checks and balances in place and move forward. So I can't say with any definity what was done prior, but I will say that I believe everybody's on the same agenda to get that corrected and move forward.
All right. Next question, it says, do all board members have access to the live chat, whereas they can see the concerns of the residents in real time? And so the answer is yes. Anybody in the world who has internet access and a modern device can go to the Village of Dolton YouTube channel. And then when you watch the live stream, you'll be able to see the chat as well. Next question, who handles payment center disputes? They want the name of the person.
Okay, that would similar. I think Administrator Scott answered. Ms. Janice Johnson has been taking the lead on that. Administrator Scott is a backup in the interim until a manager is hired for that department.
Okay. Next question says, we talk a lot about grants, and more grants. Do we get any of them? Because it seems like the village is not benefiting from anything or any grants. Police and fire need grant money.
We have received several. The Cdbg grant that Ron Smith mentioned has been received numerous times. Administrator Scott has worked on several grants that I'm not sure if she's going to be modest today or not, but we have received several. And I would say that there are other department heads that if they want to chime in with grants that they received, this would be the time.
All righty. The next, this is a repeat about this Industry Play 360. They said, it says, I was sent a screenshot that shows an Industry Play 360 comment, but don't see it in the chat. I also sent Ms. Nixon an email about this problem. So once again, I've never blocked anyone, and there's nothing in the YouTube that shows anyone is being blocked. And the only emails I have received were from a few residents who wanted to be added to the communications list, who were not receiving emails, but I haven't received anything from someone stating that they were trying to, get logged in or get access and didn't have access. The next says the accountant or auditor that was in place should have seen discrepancies and confronted the issue. Money counts itself. I have not heard anything about their reports, even though we paid for them. Why is that?
Can you repeat that question? Or the statement or question had multiple parts, so I'm just trying to.
Okay, no problem. It says the accountant or auditor that was in place should have seen discrepancies and confronted the issue. Money counts itself. I have not heard anything about their reports, yet we paid for them. Why is that?
Okay. The Village of Dolton has to have an audit done annually. The annual audit consists generally of samples that are taken. It does not do what a forensic audit would do in terms of going through line by line. So we do pay for the annual audit. That's one of the requirements for us to go out and get grants. And the annual audit is done within the CPA compliance. So we paid for it because it keeps us in compliance with government regulatory standards, as well as offers us the opportunity to go after grants. Chris, I don't know if you have any comment that you would like to weigh in on that one.
Nope, that the annual audit, that's what we go out for. We have done every year. We should be having the report coming out soon. Beyond that, I guess that's the only part of the question.
Okay. Next it says they want to have, somebody just says they want to have more modern IT because our technology is outdated. Oh, here's another comment. It says, we cannot see Industry 360 comments and the board should be ashamed of itself for not investigating it. Open's Meeting Act is being violated. I don't know if anybody has anything on that, but all I have to say is I've never blocked anyone. I don't see anyone being blocked. And if you really feel like someone's being blocked and you want to investigate, you are more than welcome to do whatever is going to make you most comfortable but I've never blocked anyone, and there's nothing that indicates that anyone is being blocked. So, another comment says someone else must have access to block people. There's no one else that operates this chat but myself. So that's that. I'll see if there's any more. This is a follow-up question. Oh, this is a follow-up question. They're stating that they were referring to Chris, was saying that he should have checked the paper. I'm not really sure what this means. It says, I am referring to Chris that has checked paper. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can clarify the question. I don't really understand that one. It says, because of so many problems with our water bill, why aren't we allowed to directly pay our water bill to the city of Chicago? We have too many problems with the previous administration.
We don't pay directly to Chicago because they do not have access to the individual record. Chicago gets one bill for all the water consumed. They do not have access to house by house, the tally of the meter, nor do they have authority to go out and read the meter, make sure that is done. That's the reason that we can't pay directly to Chicago. It has to go through the Village of Dolton.
Okay, the next question says, who can I mail information to regarding a water department and payment center dispute? I mailed a certified letter with documentation and haven't heard from anyone. I sent the letter to Ms. Scott.
When was, okay, I don't know when that was sent or who that is specifically because I don't have it, but they can definitely call my office or call me on my cell phone, or they can even send me an email with the information. Because that specifically, I'm not sure who that individual is, but I haven't received any paperwork lately. So if you can, just please contact me on my village cell phone, work phone, or email it to me. That would be great.
Okay, that's the final question we have.
Okay, seeing that is the final question. There may be action on the outside of executive session. So for those that would like to hang around, we will go back live after executive session to adjourn. But I do motion that we go to executive session at this time.
I second.
Okay, hearing it motion and seconded. Clerk Dugan, please take a roll call. Clerk Dugan?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I thought I clicked in. On the motion to go into executive session, we need a specific purpose. On the agenda is to discuss pending litigation. So if I may include that in the motion to go into executive session.
Why don't we include collective bargaining as well to deal with that issue we talked about a little bit at the meeting?
Yes. All righty then. So on that motion by Trustee House, and it was seconded by